What's the matter? You look like you've seen a ghost. God damn it, stuff it in this thing. Hang on a second.
Okay, practical jokes aside, what were the critics really complaining about with this movie? Because they really made me lower my expectations before I started watching this, that this would be a bad movie. This was not a bad movie, both in regards if you look at this as a Scream movie or just another horror movie. I have seen plenty of worse movies than this. This movie fit right in with the franchise. The kills were bloody. They used modern technology to change how the killers acted. They paid homage to the previous movies by having the two twins come back, even though I didn't recognize them, but that's because I've only seen the two previous movies one time. I'm a workaholic. What can I say, you know? They also do a good job of bringing Nave back, justifying why she wasn't in the previous one, giving Gale a nice purpose for the movie. Yeah, it's weaker than the previous two, but we can't always have the legacy characters be in the spotlight. You got to do enough new stuff to keep it fresh, and giving her and Sydney problems? Well, they didn't really have any problems after the second movie, so doing this again? It's very realistic. It feels cheap to us through the screen, but you gotta remember, real life isn't pretty, you know? It's not always gonna look amazing. Can't tell you how many people have come around to the Anakin and Padme dialogue where they're like, you know, I hated this when I was younger, but now that I'm that age, ooh, I get it. Right. I really do not see what was oh my god bad about this. Oh, there's problems. Oh, don't get me wrong. There's problems, okay? Because, the new characters in this movie, they didn't really do that much with them. They're just portraying them as typical, disposable teenagers. Not that much to them. And they did do it kind of fast, whereas in the second movie, they were slowly picking off the suspects one by one until I figured out by default who the killer was, but that was because that was the only suspect left. Here, I didn't have a clue who the killer would be, and did it come out of left field? For the asylum guy, yeah. For the killer that was Sydney's neighbor, kind of, because they deliberately included the line so obvious that it couldn't be them. We've seen that before in fictional media, and we respond differently each time. Will this movie kind of be viewed as a cash grab down the line? Kind of, because this is without question a more mundane entry in the Scream franchise, both when you compare it to the last two and overall in the franchise, but all horror movies have more mundane entries the longer that they keep going on. Friday the 13th, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, even Nightmare on Elm Street was getting weak towards the end with 6 and arguably the remake, but, this was not bad, okay? Like, if I have a choice between watching this movie or the latest Black Christmas movie, I'll watch this movie any day of the week. Yeah. Matt. So, I know that this wasn't as long as these things typically are for me, but that's because I think that there's better people out there that can analyze this movie, and I've really said all there is to say about it. We've seen this kind of movie before. It fits in. I would have loved to have seen what they were originally going to do with this, but what they turned out was not bad. They're talking about making another one. Wouldn't be a bad thing, though I hope that you, wait a little bit, because of the pandemic delaying the release of the 5th movie, okay? 5 and 6 came out real darn close to each other. If you wait just a tiny bit longer to let everything cool off with this franchise, I think everyone will reset, and then we'll be ready to experience another movie. Yeah. So yeah. What do I give the movie? For personally, critique... I really want to give it 4, but I'm a tad bit unsure because it's been forever since I've seen my reviews for 5 and 6, and I can't remember how I rated them. Oh, what the heck, if I decide to change my mind, I'll say it in the comments. See ya!